As a person with many interests, I always wanted to feel like I'm getting ahead, not just catching up. I would see my peers racking up promotions, degrees, visible achievements, while I was still trying to figure it out. If you can relate, then you already know the loop. Obsess over something, abandon it, find a new, shiny, interesting thing, repeat. Honestly, this has created a lot of shame and unease in my life. I tried fixing it with common advice: planners, routines, just focus on one thing, but none of them really worked. That's until I made one shift that finally made me feel like I'm not just catching up to my peers, but actually getting ahead of them. And all of that without betraying my own nature and settling for one thing. Let me show you what it was. Now, the rest of this video won't make much sense unless we establish the concept of cause and effect and compounding. Today's results don't come from today's work. I promise you'll understand this very easily once you see this diagram. We've got memory on the left and effect on the right. At the bottom, we have time. So the things we do today, we have very good memory of. We remember exactly how much stuff we read, how much effort we put in, but tomorrow the memory of what we did is a bit less. And over time, the memory pretty much completely fades away. So the actions we do today, even though we have good memory of them, don't manifest into results for months, sometimes even years. I know, it's a tricky one. Our memory of the action fades away, but in order for the action to manifest into result, it needs time. You can see this pattern so clearly with multi-interest people like us. We start obsessing over a new thing, we read books, we watch courses, we do our research. It could go on for weeks and sometimes months. However, we don't see results immediately because our actions, the cause, and the results, the effect, take a lot of time to actually show up. The thing between the two is called compounding, and unfortunately, we don't get to experience it that often. Instead, we abandon it and move on to the next thing. Most of the work that you quit was probably just about to begin working. You kept planting the seeds, checking the soil every day, and when you were not seeing any results, you thought that the seed was faulty in some way. So you keep planting new seeds, and this pretty much repeats for years. The reason why everyone seems so further ahead of you has nothing to do with intelligence or luck. You're just behind people who stayed the same long enough to see the compounding effect in action. That's it. That's the secret nobody says out loud. So the question becomes, how can we adapt and use this one-dimensionality for our multi-dimensional brains? Well, we established that you need to commit to something, at least temporarily. Now, I know how scary this sounds. What if you pick the wrong thing and you just lose all that time? And I get it. Sometimes I feel like this lifetime isn't long enough for me to explore all my different interests. We're just hyper aware of the opportunity cost, and this is why it's so hard for us to choose one thing. Okay, so how do we do this exactly? Well, we commit to one thing for 90 days. Before you panic, this is just a season and it's not who you will be forever. As I said, it's just one short season of consistency. 90 days is long enough to start seeing some compounding happening, but also short enough so you don't feel trapped. There's one rule though. You're allowed to have other interests, but you're not allowed to pursue them. Capture them, park them, store them somewhere. You'll come back to them later, but not now. We need to stay true to the mission. Again, the whole point of this season is to stop starting from zero again and again and feel compounding for the first time. So far, so good. But how do you pick one skill when it feels like there are 10 different versions of you all fighting for the steering wheel? The reason choosing is so hard is because subconsciously it feels like a loss. The moment you pick a direction, you sort of lose the fantasy that you could be great at all of them. And that fantasy is addictive. It protects your ego. If you never commit, then you never have to find out what you're capable of. So here is the fix. You stop choosing with your identity and you start choosing with a framework. You're not picking your one true calling here, you're just picking the best 90-day bet. So I want to introduce the PVP framework. P stands for pull. Pull is the thing you keep coming back to even when nobody's watching. The skill you practice for fun and then look up and 3 hours are gone. If you had to do this for 90 days with 0 likes, 0 praise, 0 money, would you still feel the urge to do it? If the answer is yes, that's a pull. Assign a score from 1 to 10. V stands for value. Is it applicable in the real world or is it just interesting in your head? Value is what turns your curiosity into an outcome. It could be monetary, someone pays you to do this for them. It could be an upgrade to your current job. You can implement it at work and receive recognition, praise, or promotion for it. Or it could be content that you share with the world and start building an audience. Assign a score from 1 to 10. P stands for portability. Can you take this skill anywhere or does it only work in one specific setup? It means if your job changes, you move countries, your industry shifts, or a platform dies, you don't lose everything. You can still use the skill to create value in a new environment. This is super important for multi-interest people because we hate feeling trapped. A portable skill gives you freedom without forcing you to start over. Again, assign a score from 1 to 10. So to make this all even clearer, here is an example of the PVP framework in practice. Let's say I absolutely love writing, so the pull here is 9 out of 10. On value, I would assign 8 out of 10 for these 3 reasons. Number 1, people will literally pay you to write for them. Ghostwriting, content, copywriting, email sequences, scripts, you name it. Number 2, writing improves your thinking, which can make you better at your job. You'll be able to articulate your ideas more clearly, create better slides, write sharper emails, communicate more effectively with stakeholders, and overall become someone who stands out. Number 3, writing is a universal language. You can use it to write books, YouTube scripts, articles on Medium or Substack, whatever direction you decide to pick later. Writing feeds it. And I would score portability at 9 out of 10 as well, because good writing travels. New industry, new country, even new language, the skill stays. You don't have to start over, you just have to translate it. Now, even if you pick the right 90-day bet, there is still one thing that could sabotage you: consumption. Another video, another book, another framework. It feels like progress, but it's actually the safest way to avoid exposure. Consumption gives you a clear hit of progress with 0 risk. No judgment, no feedback, no chance of looking stupid in public. You get smarter, you feel productive, and nothing in your life changes. So here's the fix. You set a ratio. For every 1 hour of consuming, you do 1 hour of producing. It could be a 300-word mini essay, it could be a simple short video for Instagram, or it could be a voice note of you explaining an idea. Anything that would be considered putting it into the real world. So now you've got the full system. Open the Notes app or grab a notebook and write down the 5 or 10 skills that you've been wanting to visit for years. The ones you keep meaning to get serious about. Then score each one from 1 to 10 on pull, value, and portability. Add the scores up and the winner takes the next 90 days of your life. Just a short season, and don't forget about the 1-to-1 ratio. 1 hour of consuming, 1 hour of producing. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.